Join me as I turn this into this, my DIY Easter Bunny Gnomes.
Hello craft friends, welcome to Social Crafts. I'm Casey Lum, and today I'm going to show you how to make these extremely cute Easter gnomes. I've had this recent new obsession with making gnomes because one, they're adorable, and then two, they're just so easy to make, and three, they're so easily customizable. So any holidays, any occasions you have, you can add little details here and there, and they're just like, they become your little friends, and you can decorate them and do little things to them. So this is my new obsession. I hope you join along in this obsession with mine. We are going to be making gnomes probably all year long for different occasions for now. So this is the newest thing I'm going to show you. Of course, if you've seen my videos before, I love to show you the craft and fast forward first in case you are short on time. If you have time after, stick around. We have a full list of everything you need and also the full slower tutorial to show you exactly how to make this craft. So without further ado, let's see this in fast forward. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, I put a new video out every Wednesday with a really fun craft to do and really great crafts to do in groups or by yourself, either or, but I love to always have a craft party. So I try to do my crafts around crafts that you can do in groups as well. But please consider subscribing below. We put a new video out every Wednesday and it's super fun and I just love having you along. Also, let's show you what you need for this craft. I always love to put a list in the description below of all the supplies and materials that you need for easy shopping. So it's all there for you. Just click on the links, purchase, have them shipped to you, and then you're set to go on making this craft. So let me show you what you need. So first and foremost, I got a little carried away and used all my cones. So I don't have a cone to show you right now. So you need a cone. This one is a paper mache cone. It's a 7-inch tall by 3 inches. And you can also use styrofoam ones as well. And I'll do another video showing you how to use a sock for your base as well. So you can use a sock. But this one is a 7-inch by 3-inch cone, and I will put that in the description. So you'll need however many cones you want to make, however many gnomes you want. Obviously I used 3 here. You'll need some felt. I have all different color felts here. The felt that I am going to put in the description below is a whole pack of felt. So you can choose, it's just nice to have felt on hand also. So you can choose the colors you want to use from that pack of felt. So that's in the description below as well. You will need some faux fur. I just decided to use this white faux fur. You can use whatever color you want for the beards. But this is what I decided to work with and it's worked really well for what I wanted to achieve. A permanent marker, scissors that will cut through felt and fabric. It is fabric on the back side of it, so you want to be able to cut through that. These 1/2-inch round wooden balls. They come in a pretty big pack, but you can use them for other crafts as well. And a hot glue gun. I personally love a fine tip hot glue gun. This will be listed in the description below because I just love being able to have a little more control with a fine tip. So that's the glue stick there, or the hot glue gun I like to work with. And then also you'll see something that you can download below. I've made a little like a little pattern for you for all these different pieces. Depending on your cone size, this might not exactly fit your cone that you're working with. So you might have to alter it a little bit. You can cut it a little bit wider and then always cut off excess if you want to. But I've made this for you, and this will be available to download as a PDF in the description below. So you can get the size of the ears and the size of the hat and the felt for the body as well. So that's really all you need. And once you have all of that, you can get started on this craft. So let's get started.
So we're going to start out by tracing out our pattern pieces, and of course you can use the pattern that I provided for you, or you can do your own. What I like to do is I like to trace with the Sharpie, and then when I cut it out, I cut off all the Sharpie color, so you're not seeing any black on the felt. I'm a little bit off screen here. I think it's my pregnant belly. I had to stand further away from the edge of the camera, so it's kind of funny, but just bear with me. You'll see all the parts coming together. So now we're cutting out our ears. Pick the colors for the ears, cut out the colors you want for the ears, and we're just cutting out all of our pieces here. When it comes to the beard, you want to look at which way the fur of the beard is on the fabric. So you kind of brush it side to side. I start to see that laying flat is, you'll see the side that is laying more flat than not. And once you figure out the way you want your beard to lay, you flip it over. And with faux fur, there's fabric on the back. So we're going to trace our beard pattern on the back side on the fabric. And I'll show you how to cut it out so your beard still looks natural and not cutting faux fur can be tricky. So I'll show you how to cut it right. So I just put little dots. You can trace it fully. I put little dots. So when it comes to cutting faux fur, you want to make sure you're not cutting through the actual fur of the fabric. So you don't want to just go at it with the scissors. What you want to do is use little snips and cut just the fabric part on the back side of the faux fur. So you can see I'm doing tiny little slits here, and I'm just nicking and cutting the fabric part, not the fur. Because if you cut the fur part, it'll just be this harsh line and it won't look natural. It won't look like a beard. It'll just look kind of like a really sharp fur cut, and it just won't look natural. So just cut the fabric on the backside. See, and when you pull it apart, the fur kind of comes apart and it still looks natural. You can comb it down and it still looks natural. So if you were to cut through the fur, you would have really harsh lines of the fur. But since you just use the fabric part, you still have a natural looking beard. So next we're going to make holes into the hat for the ears. And you want to make 2 little slits. I had on the pattern, I indicate where you can cut them. You can use that pattern. You can kind of eyeball it. I'm eyeballing it here. And you just want to make sure the 2 slits for the ears are, in the center. Next, we're going to assemble. So we're going to assemble the ears. You don't need too much glue, just a little glue to tack on the ears. So I'm doing the inner color of the bunny ears, the pink, onto the cream color of the outer color of the ears that I chose. Next, on the right side of the hat, on the side that you want to see, just wiggle the ears down into the hat. And if you need to open up those slits a little more, feel free, adjust. The glue kind of helps keep that bend in the ears. And then flip it over to the back side and just tack down those ears onto the hat, making sure they just stay secure. Next, we're going to start wrapping the felt, the body felt, around the cone. So the part that you just want to be careful here is where I like to focus is to make sure the bottom of the felt, the bottom of the cone, and the bottom of the felt are lined up correctly. The top of the felt doesn't need to be completely perfect because it's going to be covered by the hat. So really your focus here is at the very bottom of your cone to make sure the felt is lining up correctly with your cone and it's covered pretty straight and pretty clean. And then just tacking the back side here. Next, you're going to put on the beard, and the top of the beard is going to be covered by the hat, so it doesn't need to be completely perfect. So I just like to tack, I put a little bit of glue on the top, and I don't tack down the rest of the beard just to let it free flow a little bit more, but I do tack on the top. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just like to line it up with the felt of the body, but it will be covered by the hat. Brush down the little beard. It's so cute. Next, we're going to place the nose on and kind of just figure out the placement. I normally do it about 3/4 of an inch to an inch down. Doesn't need to be perfect, but about 3/4 of an inch to an inch down. And I brush the beard away from where I want to place my nose and just put a little bit of glue on there and place your nose down onto the beard, making sure there's enough glue to hold it secure. Doesn't need to be a ton, but just enough. Let it cool. And after it cooled, then I just like to brush the beard around the nose. So it's turning out so cute. Making sure it's secure. Next, we're going to assemble the hat, and this is where I like to take my time a little bit more because the placement of the hat is, I think, what gives it character. So I'm a little bit off screen here, but bear with me. I'll bring it up to the top. And what you want to do is you want to make sure your hat isn't rested above the nose. You want it resting on the nose. That's what makes it super cute. Like the gnome has the hat resting and kind of like pushing down on the nose. So you put a little bit of glue on the actual top of the nose. And that's where I like to start. That's where I like to place the hat first. So see that I'm putting it like on top, putting the hat on top of the nose a little bit so it's covering it. Excuse me. And I kind of press it down to make sure it looks like it's resting on the nose. And that's what makes it super cute. I think that's like one of the biggest characteristics of a gnome is these hats that rest like super low on their nose. The next important part of the hat is making sure the points line up with each other. So I put glue onto the cone, kind of straight up from where the nose was to the point. And then I place the center down of the hat, making sure the point of the cone and the point of the felt of the hat line up together. That's what I would say is the other important part of this hat. I like to take my time on doing the hats because that's, I think, the most important part. Next, when you add glue for the rest of the hat, I just like to make sure that because the beard's under there and the hat's kind of the focal point, I really like to press it down and pretty tight. Like I kind of pull it around to make sure that the hat is pretty tight and like laying on the cone really secure. And I add a little more glue probably on the hat part than most of the rest of the gnome, just to make sure that it's laying flat and straight and pretty. And then I glue the other side down, making sure it's laying flat. Then I add a little glue up at the very point at the top and make sure that the hat comes to a point. Just take your time with this part. Making sure it's shaped correctly, how you want it. And there you go. Kind of fix him up, brush down his little beard. You can bend the ears a little bit, give it a little character, get off all that excess hot glue. And there you go, you got your gnome. You can do all different colors. I did 3 colors, they're so cute.
I hope your craft turned out amazing. They are so cute. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below on this video. I'll get back to you. And then I just love being in touch with you further than just YouTube. So follow us on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. You can find us all 3 here, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. I just love being in touch with you. You can get more inspiration, more craft ideas there. And then, of course, if you love this video, thumbs up this video. It helps us tremendously. And then also subscribe. So you can subscribe and ring the little bell to get our notifications so you know when we post a new video. And subscribe. We just really appreciate you being here. And I love you guys, and thank you so much for your support. And until next time, we will see you then.